Hey YouTube, Chatty Gig Economist here. Now normally I make videos about Instacart meant for other Instacart shoppers like myself, but this video is intended for Instacart customers. There's quite a few things customers need to know and understand about how the coronavirus panic has changed the way we work these days. I'm not making this video to place blame or complain. I really want to make the process smoother for everyone. So let's get started with the top 10 things Instacart customers need to know right now. With this coronavirus panic happening, supply chains are in major upheaval across the country. Toilet paper, hand sanitizer, paper towels, and cleaning products are pretty much sold out everywhere. Certain foods are in short supply too, especially produce, bread, rice, pasta, fresh meat, frozen vegetables, and bottled water. Additionally, many stores are limiting purchases of high demand items. Canned goods are usually limited by product type. For example, you can get 4 cans of corn and 4 cans of beans, but with cleaning products and bottled water, you can only get 2 items total. Multi-packs of toilet paper, tissues, and paper towels are really rare these days. Most stores will only let you buy one of those three, so choose wisely. And just so we're clear, stores do not make exceptions for Instacart orders. If the store is sold out of something, the only thing we can do is replace it with something comparable or refund it. We're not store employees, so we can't just go in the back room and scrounge for reserves. If you ordered a ration item through Instacart thinking it's a loophole, you're going to be disappointed when your purchase is limited. Most shoppers are taking a few extra precautions to be as sanitary as possible these days. However, we have no control over who did what with your items before we got there. Consider that there are so many steps in the supply chain from manufacturer to retailer. Who knows how many laborers handled the products before they wound up on store shelves? And once a product is in the store, who knows how many other customers handled an item and then put it back on the shelf only to have it picked up and purchased by an Instacart shopper. So even if your shopper wears gloves and a mask, that PPE only protects the shopper. You can still get sick if any of your items were handled by contagious customers, store employees, or any of the workers in any of the steps of the supply chain. If you want to get everything you ordered, your best bet is to opt for an early morning delivery. Since most stores restock overnight, there's more product available when the doors open in the morning. I know early morning delivery isn't always practical because of family or work schedules, but just know that if you place an order for evening delivery, it's highly unlikely you're going to get everything that you wanted. In fact, a lot of supermarkets are closing early because they're running out of inventory by dinner time. So the earlier in the day you can schedule your delivery, the better. Our Shopper app has a built-in feature where you can alert the customer when the item they want is unavailable. Most customers will get a notification on their phone and they'll write back telling us to replace or refund the item. But in order to get our messages, you first have to enable notifications within the Instacart app and in the notification settings for the app within the phone settings. You can even receive our messages as SMS text if you'd prefer. So make sure your notifications are set properly because there's a very good chance the shopper is going to have to reach you at some point. You can help prevent being bombarded with those "would you like a replacement" messages by selecting substitutes when you place your order initially. I know a lot of customers find this tedious, but if you have certain lifestyle choices, food allergies, religious dietary restrictions, or if you're just a picky eater, having your second choice ready to go is a win-win for everybody. By the way, if you don't want your item replaced and you'd rather just be refunded, you can specify this too. Those last two tips become rather futile if the customer doesn't actually pay attention to their phone. I can't tell you how many times I had to make a slew of changes to someone's order, and when I made the delivery, the customer was shocked and upset that so much was changed. They had no idea changes were made because they were sleeping, or their phone was on mute, or they left in another room, or they just didn't have notifications enabled. If you're not going to be able to watch your phone while your order is being shopped, you can elect to have your shopper call you if they make so much as one change. Just bear in mind, you won't recognize the incoming phone number, but I swear it's not a spam call. When customers can't get their order fulfilled exactly as they want, they tend to take their frustration out on the Instacart shopper by rating them poorly. This is really unfair because shoppers have no control over store inventory, plus the fact that if the customer doesn't pay attention to their phone, they might end up with a lot of substitutes and or refunds that they didn't want. Rating Instacart shoppers poorly really hurts us more than most gig economy platforms because our ability to get work is actually dependent on our rating. See, Instacart recently switched to a completely on-demand format whereby all the available orders are placed into an open queue. Those with the highest customer ratings have first dibs. Then, after a certain amount of time, shoppers with lower ratings will begin to see the available batches. Ergo, the highest rated shoppers will scoop up all the highest paying batches, and the lower rated shoppers are left with the scraps. If you have a legitimate gripe with Instacart, contact customer service directly. The only reason to rate the shopper anything less than 5 stars is if they actually do a terrible job where you end up with damaged or spoiled items, or the shopper is smelly, dirty, rude, belligerent. You know what I mean. Instacart pays shoppers a base pay of $7 for a full service orders and $5 for a delivery only order. This pay does go up for orders with high item counts, heavy items, and or long delivery distances, but Instacart has never revealed how their pay algorithm works, so it's a mystery to even longtime shoppers. This is why tips are so important, because the time and labor involved is worth much more than $5 or $7. Tips account for at least a third, if not half, of the average shopper's salary. When you place your order with Instacart, the app will usually default to a 5% tip, although this can be changed to a higher percentage, a flat dollar amount, or no tip at all. I know some customers prefer post-tipping to pre-tipping because they want to see the quality of service first. However, I recommend all Instacart customers pre-tip at least 10% or $10, whichever is higher, and for quite a few reasons. First of all, shoppers can see customers' tips before accepting an order. Shoppers will ignore non-tip orders in favor of those with generous upfront tips. Shoppers won't gamble on non-tip batches unless there's absolutely nothing else available. But during this coronavirus panic, Instacart is being flooded with way more orders than usual, which means shoppers have a lot more high-paying orders to choose from. Non-tip batches absolutely will linger in the queue for hours, thus increasing the chance that the items that customer wants will be sold out, as well as delaying their delivery, possibly until the next day. Second of all, if you order $100 worth of groceries and opt for the standard 5% tip, that means your order will show up in the queue as paying only $10 or $12. Most shoppers won't accept batches under $15 or even $20, so batches with even a 5% upfront tip will linger in the queue for at least a little while. Third of all, your tip is not set in stone. You can always increase, decrease, or outright retract your tip up to 3 days after delivery. Although I strongly advise never to remove your tip unless your shopper does an absolutely horrendous job. If you're the kind of person that rarely or never tips because you don't believe in tipping, or it's a foreign concept to you, or you're just a cheapskate, I'd say be prepared for your order to be delivered extremely late and for your shopper to put forth little to no effort. We are literally risking our health and well-being by going out in public so you don't have to. A 10% tip or a $10 tip is the least a customer can do. Well before the coronavirus panic started, Instacart had already introduced a feature for customers to have their items left at the door in the event that they weren't going to be home. Now this feature can be used even for customers who are home but want to maintain safe social distancing. You can enable this option at the checkout screen by checking the box, "Leave at my door if I am not around." When the driver completes the delivery, they will take a photo of where they placed your items and send it to you through the app. Note, you can't choose this option if you ordered alcohol, as the driver will have to verify your identity and scan your license. And no, you can't just leave your license on the porch. It has to be done face to face. If you live in a gated community or any building that requires a security code to enter, you should leave your code in the delivery notes. If your items need to be left with a receptionist or any kind of concierge service, you can mention this in the delivery notes section too. Also, please bear in mind that shoppers do not have customers' last names, so we can't look you up in a directory. Or if a security guard asks us who we're delivering to, all we can say is Bob or Linda. If you're in a sprawling apartment complex where the GPS takes the driver to the main entrance and not to your specific building, it would behoove you to leave clear instructions telling the driver where exactly to go, where to park, and how to find your door. If the shopper attempts to make the delivery and no one answers the door, the shopper can actually return all your items to the store and you'll be charged a no-show fee. Checking that box for leave at my door if I'm not around will help prevent this from happening. Since most of my subscribers and viewers are Instacart shoppers and other gig economists, I strongly encourage everyone to share this video with anyone they know who uses or is considering using Instacart for social distancing because of the coronavirus panic. Most of the tips in this video are applicable to customers who order grocery delivery through Shipt, Walmart, or Whole Foods. In fact, some of the stuff is relevant for DoorDash, Uber Eats, Postmates, and other restaurant delivery apps. I reserved a short URL for this video, bit.ly/Instacart customer, which should be easy to remember, although using the social media shortcuts below will work just as well. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to respond as soon as I can. If you watched all the way to the end, you are awesome. Thanks for watching, and bye.